Alright, y'all. So what's up now? So now today we finna be talking about Venus inside of astrology, right? Now, I know a lot of people want to know, like, why is my love life like this? Why is my love like that? The truth be told, listen, truth be told, y'all, listen, it's many of reasons why your love life is shit. For real, right? Because you gotta remember, it's not just only the planets, it's also about the decisions that you also make, right? Because if we understand that Vedic astrology is real, then we understand it's based off karma, right? So having a bad planet and not doing anything of, like, you have a bad planet when it comes to love and relationships. So you are going to suffer until you try to remedy that plan or do what's required to make it better, right? So then now that's not just specifically only the planet fault, because the planet is just, hey, I am what I am. Shit, try to help me out, try to fix me. If you don't do that shit, it is on you, right? So you gotta remember, there is some form of will and free will, right? Because planets, they can be amplified, right? Or they could be, underutilized. You see what I'm saying? So now let's look at Venus, right? So people be like, oh my God. So now this is the planet Venus, right? Yeah, this is the planet Venus. I just listen. I like doing it like this. Y'all see? Okay, look. You see how it looks all brown and shit. Okay, cool. Yeah, but now let's go look at the birth chart, right? So what you got to understand, one of the main things is that, do you have an afflicted Venus in your birth chart? Do you have an afflicted Venus in your birth chart, right? You see right here, this is Venus right here, right? Let's scroll up. Let's scroll up. Look, Venus is in its own sign, y'all. Listen, y'all, listen. Venus is in his own sign. So, so, so basically everything should be correct, right? Everything should be okay. Well, Venus in the own sign, that means they're gonna have the great love, they're gonna have great relationship. It's gonna be like that. Y'all listen. That don't always mean that. Y'all listen, that don't always mean that. But here's the thing. So let me hook y'all up on this. That's a retrograde Venus. That's a retrograde Venus, and it's sitting with Neptune, the planet of illusions and spirituality and fogs. Retrograde planets already, all retrograde planets already carry a lot of strong karmic backlog anyway, right? These are areas of your life you already have to heavily pay attention to. And then so that means, guess what? Like, you must have missed something in the past life. Now you got to solve that stuff now. Now, but guess what? It's also with Neptune, right? So guess what? That's gonna be kind of hard to deal with if you're not really consciously aware. Because that Venus, to me, that's an affliction. It's in its own sign, so it's not gonna be super duper weak. But since it's with Neptune and it's retrograde, you best believe there's going to be some challenges coming from it. And it can be coming from the way you perceive the relationship specifically, right? Because you gotta remember, it's your Venus. It's like, okay, well, this placement right here. This can create like hopeless romantics, right? Or people who can disregard themselves for other people, right? Because this person is really going to be about relationships, right? Because we know that Neptune is that dissolving like energy. Like, I just want to just be like in my imagination, in my fantasy. And then you put the planet of relationships there. Oh my God. Yeah, to me that's afflicted. That ain't no norm, because Venus in Libra by itself, good. With no affliction, no aspect, no retrograde, that's good, right? But when people say, okay, why am I constantly going through stuff in my life? You have to understand that there are multiple different factors when it comes to relationships and love in the birth chart. And then you also have to understand this specifically. You also got to understand this specifically too. When it comes to relationships and love inside the birth chart, you could have Saturn aspecting this, which they do, and I'm finna pinpoint it to you in a minute. You could have Saturn aspecting this. You could have the eighth lord like this is the eighth house right here where Leo at, the planet that controls Leo. What if the eighth house is feeding this energy, which is not specifically, but I'm just saying, right? So a lot of times when you read the birth chart, from your knowledge, you might be like, well, I just thought that this mean I would have had like a good, decent relationship, because I mean, it's in its own sign. And when I looked up online, it say that, matter of fact, why this? Venus in Libra is good. Watch this. Let's go to all. Venus in Libra is good. It's widely considered an excellent placement, right? Because it hit home. It's in domicile, right? Mastering relationships, intellectual attraction. Y'all gonna read this shit and think it's you, but all your relationships have been terrible. Or they've been lackluster and not what you really wanted. But if you have Venus in there, from what Google say, it's supposed to be good. But why did you experience terrible, horrible stuff? Because you don't know how to read your damn birth chart, right? Venus in Libra by itself with other beneficial placements, yes. But check this out. Saturn is in the first house, right? Saturn in Vedic astrology has a secret aspect. Saturn aspects 10th from itself, right? So in the first house, we count wherever Saturn is at as 1, and then we go forward, right? So look, 1 in Capricorn, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? So guess what? So now let's scroll up. This Venus, which is retrograde and is with the planet of illusions and it's in its own sign, just looking at, listen, you gonna do this. You gonna go look this up specifically. I got Venus in Libra. It's gonna tell you all this nice stuff, and you wondering why your relationships fail, why you keep getting cheated on, why you keep losing yourself and your identity when it comes to being in these relationships, all type of stuff. You're gonna be like, damn, but it says nice. Now you don't believe in astrology. The whole time you didn't understand that Saturn specifically is influencing your Venus, right? Real talk, right? But it's not just a Saturn by itself, because Saturn is the friend of Venus. Your Saturn is now with the K2. So Saturn, a big portion of your lessons and your discipline revolve around separation, isolation, and learning when to actually let go of things, right? That's just one of the various things that combination means specifically, right? And you got that energy influencing your Venus in Libra. The Libra is still a sign of relationships specifically, right? You know what I'm saying? So what you got to understand is that Saturn isn't just a regular Saturn. It's a K2 infused type of Saturn. You see what I'm saying? It's a very much K2. So you got to remember, so Saturn is about structure, discipline, limitations. But K2 is about separation. And sometimes K2 is also about destruction specifically, right? So there are various things that can come from this combination, but I'm just trying to show you all that, hey, listen, you may look up a planet by itself and think it's good the whole time. You didn't look at everything else that was coming with it. So sometimes people will disagree on certain stuff that they really don't have no goddamn idea about. I'm just being honest. They don't have no idea about it. They don't have no idea about it. So to you, it's incorrect. But to somebody like me, I'm like, oh, well, that makes perfect sense. Because you don't know what to type in. You don't know what to research. You don't know what to look at. And not only that, this birth chart in and of itself is not enough alone, right? The birth chart itself the birth chart itself is not enough alone, right? And also, this Venus is also receiving aspect from Mars specifically, right? Look at this. Mars is in the 8th house. Mars has a special aspect in Vedic astrology, right? Mars aspects forth from itself. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this Venus is getting hit with the energy of Saturn and it's getting hit with the energy of Mars. Strong possibility for domestic violence cases. Strong possibility for like abuse, emotional abuse to a certain extent, emotional manipulation, some form of obsession. You see what I'm saying? It's a lot of stuff that can really come from there, right? And if y'all think I'm lying about the aspects, watch this. Saturn's 10th aspect. Hold up. Vedic. Watch this. Yeah, Saturn aspects 10th from itself, right? It's a casting its gaze 9 away from the actual placement, right? So think about this. From 9 away from the placement. This is 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right? See what I'm saying? But since Saturn is in the first house, then this is his 10th aspect, right? Now look at this. Mars. Watch this. Hold on. Let's see. Mars, 4th aspect. Oh, it'll type in. Mars, 4th aspect, Vedic astrology. Yeah, the 4th, 7th, and 8th house. So you got to remember, so to you, this Venus is going to look good. You're going to say, oh, well, why am I not experiencing? Well, you got Mars and Saturn both aspecting it. Yes, you definitely going to have some issues when it comes to relationships. And you're not going to like that shit at all. And that's just the real hardcore truth. So, yeah. But I just want to give y'all a quick rundown on, like, what you see does not Just because you type in the most generic shit online does not mean that that's exactly what it's going to be inside of your real life. I just want everybody to understand that, right? But yeah, so if you want your birth chart reading, listen, go on, come to me, go on my website, listen, follow, listen, like, share, subscribe. The link is in the description below. Come follow me on Facebook, in front of Rex. I'll be on there every day, posting new stuff, posting my new birth chart reviews, all type of stuff. If you like the content, if it's informational for you, then please come holler at me. But until then, I will holler at y'all later, man. Peace.